Appreciate guys coming today.
Everybody good? You guys good?
Just kind of take us through again why you felt that this was the kind of the move you wanted to make, why it's a good move to purchase the team, and then just kind of at first your plans for this franchise.
Sure.
Long term, what you see it becoming.
Okay. I guess just why this opportunity came about. I've been involved in minor league baseball for the last 4 years with the Williamsport Crosscutters. Very fortunate to meet Andy Kaufman in Jacksonville, became good friends with him, and started being a fan of the Jacksonville Icemen, taking my kids and seeing the product that's on the field, or on the ice, I guess, and just fell in love with the game, fell in love with the league, the ECHL, and this opportunity came about, like I said, this summer, and our group went after it full speed, and here we are today. So.
How important do you think it is to have someone like Anson who has that NHL pedigree? Obviously brings some immediate credibility, I would think, but just your thought process in having him as part of it.
Sure. It's a blessing. Since the first time I've met Anson, just our conversations, his ideas, his enthusiasm's been nothing short of fantastic. We're very fortunate to have him part of our group, and it was a big piece of having him for me to move forward with purchasing this organization.
How did that partnership come about originally, you and Anson? Back in the summer.
Sure. I met Anson through Andy Kaufman. Andy and Anson started working on something earlier this spring, and once the Gladiators came about, that there was word that they were looking to sell, Andy put Anson and I together, and we've hit it off from the first meeting, and then just have continued to move forward with the same goal, same enthusiasm, and here we are today. So. Sorry, I missed the first part.
What are your plans just to make it better on the ice and off the ice?
I think impact on the community, getting our staff the proper tools they need to be successful, coming out of COVID to make sure that we have enough personnel for the front office. We're very fortunate to have Coach Jeff with us. We have a great product on the ice, and our goal is just to build from the product we have on the ice and to continue to make things better.
What do you think the team, I know you kind of alluded to rumors that there are a chance that the team could go elsewhere. Why do you feel so strongly it's a good fit here in the Atlanta area, Gwinnett specifically?
Sure. Just for, I would say, my first dealings with the county and the Gas South Arena, they've been nothing but professional. Been very supportive. Like I said, this deal came about very quickly, and everything we needed in support we got from them immediately. This is a phenomenal area, phenomenal community. It's one of the largest markets in the ECHL, and we're very fortunate to have the Gladiators here. Our long-term goal is to keep things right where they're at.
Alex, are you a hockey fan? Are you familiar with the sport, or is Anson going to explain?
No,
Offsides and all that stuff?
I appreciate that. I'm actually from Pennsylvania, so I grew up a Flyers fan. Went to a lot of hockey games as a kid. Went to a lot of minor league games in Hershey, the Hershey Bears. But I've always liked hockey. I've liked how fast-paced it is. Played sports my whole life. When I realized how big hockey was getting, I took my kids to the first Iceman game a couple years ago, and my daughter, who's our youngest, didn't want to leave. She didn't want to miss any action, and made you realize like this fast-paced sport is growing every day. And big hockey fan. Having Anson, that makes me an even bigger fan. So I'm based in Jacksonville, Florida. I will be up here a lot. I've lived up here twice on 2 short stints. Look forward to bringing my family up here, and I plan to be a very present owner. So.
Do you think having an NHL team here in the past has helped this area become such a good market, as you were saying, for ECHL? Was in the past?
Sure, absolutely. I think just from my conversations with Anson, this is an unbelievably huge hockey community. Some of Nansen will get that, but some of his thoughts are is getting this hockey community tied together. But I definitely believe having an NHL team helped get the ball rolling. We noticed when we were going through this process that we continue to see the buzz getting bigger and bigger. And like I said, we're 48 hours from opening night, and I think we're ready. So.
Backing off of that question.
Sure. Sure. That was way before my time. I can answer for us now. The goal is to continue to move forward in every aspect possible with the community, with the front office, with the players. It's a huge community. It's I believe there's 1 million people in a 12-mile radius of the arena. We look forward to growing this, and our thing is just we're going to move forward every day. Our goal is to chip away a little bit, get to where we need to be, and work our asses getting there. So.
Gwinnett County.
Yes.
Big county. It's one of the biggest counties in Georgia. Why was it just important just to
Just the fan base. We have some very loyal fans. Maher's Gladiator Nations, the Wild Group. My dealings with, short term, but my dealings with everyone here in the community have been nothing short of exceptional, and the Gladiators belong here, and that's what Anson and I's discussion is this is where we want to be, and we hope to make it work. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
48 hours home opener, what is your message to fans?
I'm sorry?
What is your message to fans a couple days from now?
What's our
Message to fans?
I'm not sure we're hearing that.
Message to the fans.
Oh, our message to the fans? We're here. Our quest is to bring the Kelly Cup home here. Look forward to the team we have available to us. We're very blessed with having Coach Jeff with his experience. And to the fans, get ready. 48 hours. Hope to have this place rocking, and we're going to put on a good show. Anything else? Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Sure. No. Well, today I could be.
Played many years, and now you're getting on the ownership side. Why?
I've been looking at joining an ownership group for several years now, even going back to 2009 when I moved here. I raised quite a bit of cash to try to buy the Thrashers and the Hawks and Phillips Arena and the Gulch. And I met with Kasim Reed, the mayor of Atlanta back then. He wasn't too interested in hockey, to be honest with you. And I could see why hockey failed at that time, because you didn't have the right people supporting the teams, supporting the sport. But so much has changed since I've been here in 2009. Just seeing the way now the minor hockey organizations that I've been talking to are trying to coexist. Talking to Coach Camp, I mentioned from UGA, talking to Coach Roberts, going to try to do whatever I can to help them go D1 possibly. Having Andy and his group, Zoyer Sports, be a part of Savannah. I really want to unify the whole hockey ecosystem here in Georgia. That's something that hasn't been done before. I'm from Toronto originally. I played hockey at Michigan State. So both those places, you could see how you could play minor hockey, college hockey, minor pro hockey. I don't see why that same kind of infrastructure can't be built here in Georgia. I really don't. And another point too, I think October 22nd, 2010, you guys might not remember that date, but that night the Thrashers played and they had 9,000 fans. And I believe the Gladiators played that same night and they had 10,000 fans. So a pessimist would tell you, oh, hockey won't work here. They only had 9,000 hockey fans for the Thrashers. Well, I'm always a glass is half full. And I saw 19,000 hockey fans here in Metro Atlanta. So there isn't a reason why hockey can't work. You just give people a reason why to come out and support your club.
And sort of bouncing off of that, why do you think hockey can be so successful? And why are you so passionate about bringing hockey to Atlanta, or the Georgia area for that matter?
Because I just see it within the kids playing. There hasn't been a hockey team, pro hockey team here for almost 10 years now, I would say. And there's still a lot of kids playing youth hockey. You see men's league hockey teams playing, and that's without having a National Hockey League team here. I think it works now, or it will work now, is because back then everyone operated in their own silos. So talking to John Bardis of the world, talking to Sergei Kuzmin, talking to Jack Burtons, these are the major stakeholders within the Metro Atlanta that own the rinks, and having those conversations and letting everyone know, like, listen, guys, like, you can't operate in your own silo. We have to do this together and work together, because the game benefits from there. It's not about individual rinks. It's about minor hockey. It's about grassroots hockey. And having Andy as a partner and Zoyer Sports and Bob and Scott and those guys controlling Savannah, that's another piece of uniting the state of Georgia. So back in the day, that was never the case. Macon, Columbus, everyone did their own thing. Now we want to have these conversations and make sure that everyone's on the same page. And the goal is to really cultivate that fan base, minor hockey, grassroots hockey, and then bring it all the way up to the professional level.
And do you think the success of the Gladiators maybe is due in part to the fact that there wasn't this market, rather, that there was an NHL team here 10 years ago, that people are coming out to these games to see them and support them?
I think it certainly helps. Last year, when I went to a couple games, I saw a ton of NHL jerseys, which is a nice, pleasant surprise. I think that's the one thing people keep talking about here in Atlanta, where they say, well, they don't support their own teams and they want to come and watch the other teams, which I don't think is true. I think you have enough Atlanta fans here that they'll support their own teams. But I think since I've been here in Atlanta, 2009, 2010, I think 1 million people, I think, have come into Metro Atlanta. So it's only natural to have them support their own teams, because I haven't really seen too many championships won in Metro Atlanta besides maybe the soccer team or football team, whatever you want to call them. I call them soccer. Europeans might call them football. So you just have to give people a reason to support your club. You really have to. And if you create passion, you create a great in-game experience, you connect the community, which is going to be a huge mandate for our players. If you're not willing to connect with your community and make the hospital visits, reach out to schools, go to minor hockey rinks, learn to play programs. If you're not willing to do that as a pro here at the Gladiators, you're not going to be here long. Simple as that. It's part of who we are. It's part of what we do. And I really believe that when you give back to the community, they give you back. They give back to you tenfold. And I've seen it. When I was in Edmonton, one of the most passionate fan bases in the National Hockey League, we were in the community all day, every day. And the fans loved us as much as we loved them. So we want to try to have that same relationship with our fans here in Atlanta too.
You obviously have a passion for hockey here in this community. I'm just curious, when you're talking to maybe your colleagues at TNT or your former teammates, just people in the hockey world, is it a hard sell? Do you have to give them a hard sell on hockey in Atlanta? Do they kind of agree with you? I mean, is there a sense when you talk to those people that, oh yeah, maybe it is a good idea here, maybe it could work here? When I bring it up initially, everyone laughs because the team left twice. And then I turned and I said, I remember I said to Talk one night, I said, Talk, have you heard of Rick Tocchet? I said, have you heard of the Chicago Stags? And he's like, no. I said, have you heard of the Chicago Zephyrs? Who the hell's that? I said, do you know the NBA went to Chicago twice and left before the Bulls? And he was like, no kidding. He used other words, I can't say it on TV, but he's like, no kidding, I couldn't believe that. I said, yeah, it's all about ownership and having the right people taking charge of the top. There isn't such thing as a bad city when it comes to hockey. I can't really speak as much to the ECHL because I don't have as much experience towards that, but I could tell you from the National Hockey League's perspective that there isn't such thing as bad markets. Everyone said for the longest time Nashville wouldn't work, Tampa wouldn't work, Carolina wouldn't work. And look at those teams. Tampa is one of the model franchises of the National Hockey League. Everyone said there's no way sports will work in Vegas. Everyone wants to play in Vegas now. Football is thriving there. LeBron's talked about bringing a basketball team there. So I've just seen, just from playing everywhere I've played, Original Six, expansion type team, East, West, Canada, US, playing in Europe. I've just been looking throughout my whole career at how these organizations are run and the day-to-day, how players are being treated. And it's not rocket science. We're home to a lot of major corporations here, Coca-Cola being one. UPS, I believe, is here too. Delta. I mean, I fly Delta all the time. I don't fly another airline. And I don't even know if they're a sponsor of ours yet or not, but that's the honest truth. But it starts at the top. So Alex and I want to bring that same kind of mentality here to the Gladiators. I know he's super thrilled and super passionate about it. And I'm just as passionate and just as thrilled about being his partner to try to make this thing happen here in Atlanta. Like, we were not going to move this thing. I know there's a lot of talk. People were
afraid of that happening. I remember I was at Duluth, the ice forum, and a lot of people were asking me, before they even knew I was potentially going to buy the team, if we're going to move the team to Athens, and I was like, no, it's not happening. Athens is a tremendous community. I love the Bulldogs, love the Ice Dogs, love Coach Camp up there, but the Gladiators belong here.
I know your focus right now is on the Gladiators, but just point blank, would your goal be to bring an NHL team here or be part of that process?
That's down the road. I'm not really focused. We have too much heavy lifting to do right now here that I think I'd be doing the fan base and our players a disservice to look that far down the road. Don't get me wrong, like, do I think hockey could work here? Absolutely. I think it could work here. But we're trying to make pro hockey work here first. And if the NHL happens, the NHL happens. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it doesn't mean that we can't have an amazing hockey experience for our fans. And it doesn't mean that we can't create an environment for our young people, boys and girls, to play minor hockey, play D1 hockey, hopefully at one of the institutions that we have in our state, and then play minor pro hockey and not have to travel to Nashville, to Chicago, to Boston, to Minnesota or Michigan. They could all do it here in Georgia. I mean, I love it here. I've been here for 12, 13 years, almost 14 years now. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Speaking as a fan base, what are you going to do to just incorporate or have more people of color in the seats and wearing jerseys?
That's a great question too. And I think first of all, just letting people know my presence with the team, and be very intentional about when I see people of color in arenas. Spending a lot of time in arenas, I go up to families all the time and introduce myself. And some might know who I am, majority of them don't know who I am. But it's about letting people understand and know and feel welcome and inclusive. And letting all of our fans understand that this is a market, Gwinnett County in particular, is so diverse that we would be dumb not to wrap our arms around people of all colors and backgrounds, races, sexuality. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We want to grow hockey. Everyone keeps talking about hockey's for everyone. Well, we truly believe that. And we want to create that in-arena experience where everyone feels comfortable, that they're not afraid to tell their friends, hey, come and watch this game. This is amazing. And not say, well, hockey's not for black people. Hockey's only for white people. I've heard that time and time again. It's not true. It's not true. So all you could do is really show people and let your actions speak louder than your words. Get ready for some Gladiator hockey. We're pumped. It's not the most ideal time to buy a hockey club with everything that's been going on, and we want to be fully transparent about that. But that didn't temper my excitement, didn't temper Alex's excitement. The people of the Gladiators organization that we've talked to that are here are super pumped. They're willing to roll their sleeves up. You're only as good as the people that work with you, not just for you, work with you. And we have an amazing staff of people that work here. So they're all in. I want our fans to know that we're not going anywhere. We need their support, and we're going to be visible. And my wife kills me, but I watch Judge Judy all the time. And one of her favorite sayings is, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And I've been listening to people nonstop going to rinks, and that's what I plan on doing. I plan on coming to rinks, coming to games here, and doing a lot of listening. And listening to what our fans like, what they dislike, what they potentially want to see change, what they want to see brought back maybe. And it's not all going to happen overnight, but we want to make sure that we're listening to our fan base and our key stakeholders to try to provide the best in-game experiences possible and try to win a championship. Because that's what it's all about, developing hockey players and trying to win a Kelly Cup.
And in uniting that Georgia hockey landscape, is there like a blueprint from someone that we're trying to copy or emulate?
I missed the first part of the question.
That in uniting that Georgia hockey landscape, kind of, is there a blueprint you're trying to copy? Kind of like maybe from Canada or somewhere else?
There isn't necessarily a blueprint, but I've lived it. Like when you're in Toronto, there's minor hockey. You play for Toronto Young Nats, Toronto Marlboros, Wexford Raiders, Don Mills Flyers. And then you could play Tier 2 junior like I did at Wexford Raiders, and then or St. Mike's, or you could play OHL hockey for, I was drafted by Detroit CompuWare, Oshawa Generals, and then you could play AHL hockey with the Toronto Marlies, and then you could play in the NHL for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I've seen it in that market. I've seen it in Boston. You got all the college teams. You got minor hockey in Boston. You got the Bruins there in Boston. You have the Providence Bruins down the street. Michigan, same thing. So I've lived that life the last 25 years, and it just shocks me that no one's done that yet here. And it's such a big state. I think we've got 6.5 million people in Metro Atlanta too. Just everyone is just operating their own little world, and that has to change. You know, even talking to the folks at USA Hockey, Pat Kelleher and that group, they know exactly what I'm planning on doing too. So it's not going to surprise anyone when they hear this, because I've talked to most of the major stakeholders already. And it's about just getting the community now and letting parents know that we're here to stay, and we're here to try to support minor hockey as best as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.